Okay, so now we'll be moving on towards the rest part of the data extraction thing. In the data extraction, one of the most important thing is that patient may lose to follow up during the study. See, maternal characteristics are at the start of the study and outcomes are at the end of the study. So some patient may lose to follow up once like they reach the outcome section. So you people have to focus on the total number of patients while you are extracting the events in totals. So you have to focus that is the total in the totals in baseline and the outcome same or not. For example, if I see here this is the baseline table. In early metformin group, we are having 268 patients. But now, when I go towards the outcomes table, in the metformin group, there are 264 patients. Mean 4 patients are missing. So, for example, if I am extracting this outcome, insulin is initiation, I am extracting its events and totals. See, they have written here it as that number slash totals. So, this 101 is my number coinciding with this, and 263 is my totals. Okay, now focus on this thing too. This is important too. One concept was that in outcomes and in the baseline, patient may differ in the whole outcomes, but the total number of patients may vary from outcome to outcome. For example, in insulin initiation, we are having 263 patients, but uh yeah, in the cesarean delivery, now we are having 262 patients. So, most of the people will make mistake. For example, they will write 114 as events. For example, if I am extracting data for the cesarean section, I'll write 114 in events, but I'll write 264 in my totals. Now, this won't be correct. People might be thinking that like, okay, the total of the metformin group is 264, but I'm asking to extract data for totals of outcomes. If this cesarean section is my outcome, I am asking for its events and totals. So its events are 114, but its totals are 262, not 264. Yes, if individual totals are not specified with each outcomes, then you people are supposed to extract this one total, like the main, the one which is given with the intervention. Then it means that like this total number is same for all the outcomes. But if individual total is reported, then you are supposed to extract data for these individual totals. Okay, so this was something about the total thing. Yes, this total may differ from baseline. Like there are two possibilities now. The outcomes totals can be differ from baseline, and the totals among individual outcomes can differ too. So you people have to clearly read or look at the the tables and the outcomes data. But if, for example, neither this is given, like these totals are given, this thing is given. See, they're saying n slash totals. It means that to the right of slash there are totals. If they are not given, it means that this number is common for all outcomes. Let's suppose this number is even not reported, then it means that this baseline number is for outcomes too, means no patients are lost to follow up between outcomes and baseline. So this was about the totals thing. Do keep this thing in mind. Now, next thing, extraction of graphs. Graphical extraction can be for um, events and totals, and graphical extraction can also be for mean and standard deviation. If graphical extraction is for mean and total, we extract data through plot digitizer. For example, if I am extracting data for this graph, okay, data extraction is for this graph. I'll take screenshot of this graph and I'll crop it in this form. I'll properly clean it, crop it for myself. For example, if you take screenshot, it will be saved here with you in the files in the screenshot sections. Then you people are supposed to crop it. Once you crop it, then you are supposed to go to plot digitizer app. You have to type plot digitizer on Google and open up the first site. Okay. Launch app. Now, the screenshot which you saved with yourself shall be uploaded here. This plot digitizer is taking a bit of time. This minute is weak. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll go to the place where you have saved your, you know, your graph. This graph I saved and rename it. Rename the graph. For example, if I'm extracting data for this graph, rename it. Probability of insulin initiation. So rename it according to this, right? Now what I'll do. Basically, this kind of extraction we do in oncology projects or in case we are giving now. Okay, the first thing is I have to, I'll back it again and back it again. I have to do my collaboration. For collaboration, these blue circles are for my x-axis and these red circles are for my y-axis. So what I'll do on x1, my x1 first value, like x-axis, my lower limit is 0. x2, 24 is my upper limit. Just place it here. Don't click it. Don't click. Okay, just place. My y1 lower limit is 0. My y2 upper limit, sorry, my y upper limit is y2 and it's 100. Okay. Now, I'll write my collaborations here. x1 is 0, x2 is 24. y1 is 0, y2 is 100. Okay. Now, I collaborated it. Now what I'll do? For example, this graph is for progression-free survival and I am required this and this thing is for weeks. I am required to extract data for progression-free survival on week 2. X-axis, I guess I cropped it too much, but here they wrote it as weeks. 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks. Now I am required to extract data for 2 weeks. What I'll do? I'll scroll here and I'll look at this place where 2 is coming. 2, it's 1.69 on x-axis. 2, exactly 2. You can like up down 1 or 2 decimal points, but not 1.8 x-axis is 1.96, 1.8, 2. Okay, 2. I'll now my cursor is exact at 2. I I'll click it. Okay. Now, focus on this. What is my x-axis value? It's this one, this one. This 15.9 isn't my value. I guess I clicked it long. I clicked it here, that's why. But I required my data at 2. So this is week 2. And what is my events? Basically, I am required to extract events. See, progression-free survival percentage. From this percentage thing, I directly inferred that this is requiring me to extract events and totals thing. Now totals they would have given in the article. They would have given in either the baseline data if or either in the outcome section if the baseline and the outcomes totals of the sample sizes are changed as I explained before. But if it's not seen, just report the, let's say I'm extracting this progression free survival format for main group. So what I'll do, I'll just import this graph to plot digitizer and collaborate it and then move on towards the point at which I am extracting. For example, I was required, it was written for me in the extraction sheet that extract PFS at 2 weeks, second week. So I moved my cursor until I reached the 2 point, second point, the x-axis, and I was looking here. Now, once the second point was reached, I just clicked it and then this value. Okay, now what I'll do? I'll multiply this 85.2 with my sample size, right? For example, the sample size of the study is 50. I'll multiply this 85.2 with 50. Okay, now give me just 1 minute. If we have 1 here, like the collaboration is in the form of 1. For example, if the upper limit of the y-axis is 1, then I'll just multiply this y value with the sample size. But if the upper limit of y value is the y-axis is 100, then what I am supposed to do? I'll multiply this particular value with the sample size divided by 100. For example, the sample size of this particular group is 50. For example, metformin is a group I am extracting data for, and this progression free survival is a particular outcome. So I'll multiply 85.2 with into 50 divided by 100. But if the upper limit like this y2 is 1, then I'll just simply multiply 85.2 with the sample size. So this was all about it was the events extraction for progression free survival, and total you will report as per given in the article. So it was about the extraction for this events and totals things. The same you will do for this particular graph. See if it is a metformin graph, and like they want me to report outcomes in the form of, even they would have written it here too, or or in articles it would be given that they require data in the form of mean and standard deviation, or events and totals. The horizontal lines in the box indicates mean, upper limit, lower limit. What are they saying me? That this data, this graph is in the form of mean and standard deviation. So now, how will we extract data for a graph which is in the form of mean and standard deviation? A probability of insulin initiation. Okay, I'll explain from this graph, and the same rule would apply for these. Consider these small lines as these, right? I'll take screenshot of this. I'll take screenshot again. I'll take screenshot of this. I'll go to my screenshots, the pictures. Now, screenshots. I'll crop the screenshot. Edit and crop this. Crop. I'll just save it. Save. I saved it. Okay, now again I'll go to my plot digitizer. Launch app. Drop your image. Uh, I have saved it in the screenshots now, so I'll go to the screenshots, and yeah, this is my screenshot. Now they are requiring data in the form of mean and standard deviation, because these bar graphs are always for mean and standard deviation. What I'll do? There's nothing to do with the x-axis, so there's nothing to do. Yeah, there is something to do with the x-axis. But basically, I don't know which week is this. They haven't even, let's say it is 32 and 38 week, because in the study they didn't mention any weeks. So my x-axis is 32, my x2 is 38. I don't have to do anything with the x-axis. Like, yeah, I have to do if I am required to extract data for the 32 and 38 weeks. Y1 3, Y2 second, Y2 7. I'll write it as 3 7. Okay, I collaborated it. Now what I'll do? They are requiring me to extract data for mean and standard deviation. See, this line is mean. This middle line and focus. They are saying that the yellow box is metformin and the gray box is placebo. Now I'm required to extract data for mean and ST. This midline is my mean, And this upper horizontal limit, see, this is the upper horizontal limit, this is the lower horizontal limit. So this upper horizontal limit minus this mean value shall be my standard deviation. Okay, so if I click, for example, I am required to extract data for metformin in this at 32 weeks. I'll click here. See, simple. Simple on this midline. I don't like, yeah, okay. Already I am at this 32.31.9 and 32 isn't like that much, but if you this 32, okay, this one value 32. I clicked on the mid value. Now I'll click on this upper value 32. Already like ये देखें 32.0 पे है X. I'll click here. You will click until this circle is black. Now 4.8 is my mean, and what shall be my standard deviation? My standard deviation shall be 6.1, because this 6.1 value is basically this upper horizontal limit. So 6.1 minus 4.8, 1.3. What is my standard deviation? My standard deviation is 1.3. My mean is 4.88 and my standard deviation is 1.3. Mean 6.1 minus 4.8. So this is for mean and standard deviation extraction. If I come to this graph, if I zoom this, exactly, for example, you people are required to extract data for metformin at 75 week. You people will collaborate in the plot digitizer in the same way. For example, I'm not doing on plot digitizer. I'm just doing manually to explain to you guys. Okay, I'll do one click exactly this. Take this one line. I'll do one click at its center and one click at its upper point at here. I can do, but for example, this is a line. So one click I'll do at its center and one click I'll do at its upper limit. The center will be its mean and upper limit minus center shall be its standard deviation. So simple, this is for standard deviation, right? And you people have to see if this graph is a mean and standard deviation. See, they've written as the horizontal lines in the boxes indicate the mean, upper limit and lower limit. Mean that this vertical line, the mid portion of vertical line is mean and it has upper limit and lower limit. So simple this thing. So this was extraction from graphs. Now, one another thing, let me see if I have covered all the graphical extraction things or something is remaining. I had one graph with me. Let's see, what's this graph? Okay, I cleared it. What you people will do? One click at its center and one click at its upper point in the plot digitizer, and you people will get the mean and standard deviation for this. This is fasting plasma glucose. So exactly the center point is mean. This, if you click here, this value minus the center point should be your standard deviation. So this was about graphical extraction.